Hi, and welcome to my world. I've just had to endure a rant from my wife because she was offended. Now, she isn't a snowflake who looks for things to be offended by, so when she gets offended, you know that she has a genuine reason, unlike the woke little darlings who think that words are violence, and if you have a different opinion from them, that is offensive in itself. So, what has got her so incensed? This headline in the Daily Mail, for a start. Hospital suggests doctors, nurses, and midwives say birthing parents and human milk instead of mother's breast milk because they risk offending transgender people. And furthermore, Brighton midwives have been told that breastfeeding should now be called chest feeding and that they must prioritise the feelings of trans people over the feelings of the birthing mother. In addition to this, the father is no longer to be called the father, but will henceforth be known as the second biological parent. You can just imagine it, can't you? And a 4-year-old gets naughty and answers back to their daddy, and he, wagging his finger sternly, says, "That's no way to talk to your second biological parent." Just ludicrous. My wife has given birth to 5 children, so I think she can speak with some authority on this subject. Only a real woman can give birth, and she is known as a mother. How is that offensive? Only a real woman has mammary glands. That is a biological fact. Therefore, only a real woman can produce milk. She will produce milk when she is a mother, so it is mother's milk, not human milk. What's offensive about that? If it's human milk, it has to come from a mother. But the woke jokes are taking away women's gender because they want it for themselves. So real women can't be women because it offends the fake women. They are hijacking the female gender. They want to have the benefits of womanhood without having to go through the crap of female puberty, monthly periods, the pain of childbirth, and the menopause. My lovely wife said that one day women won't be allowed to have breasts because biological males who claim to be women don't have them, and heaven forfend that they should be offended that the genuine woman has a gender defining body part that fake woman is missing. My wife is a mother and she produced breast milk. Calling it human milk offends her. Calling her a birthing parent offends her. Calling me the second biological parent damn well offends me. There are two main issues here. One is that in this so-called woke country, the snowflakes are so worried about offending the minorities and the fanciful that they have no compunction in offending the majority. Well, trigger warning for all you snowflakes out there, the majority gets offended too. More and more of us are sick and tired of being offended in order to avoid offending the minority groups. We complain, nothing gets done. So it's about time we started to fight back over this. Make a row when you get offended. Complain to the newspapers. Write to your MP. Drop a line to the feminists. Cause a Twitter storm. Which leads me to the second main issue. Have you noticed how all this transgender crap hurts women the most? When I say women, I mean people born with a womb, breasts, and female genitalia. I do not mean a man who believes he's a woman despite having no womb and no breast, but does have meat and two veg. The changing of language, such as human milk and birthing parent, is offensive to mothers who, incidentally, are real women. Every last one of them is a woman. So-called transgender women being allowed to compete in women's sport is also offensive to women. These pretend women are nothing less than cheats. They are smashing weightlifting records because they have the physique of a man, including the genitalia. They are winning women's boxing matches because they are stronger and have a male musculature. If it's allowed to continue, it will mean the end of female sport because no girl will want to spend years training to become a top athlete if they know they will be competing against a man claiming to be a woman. And women also are expected to share their lavatories with men, some of whom are predatory men and not men with gender dysphoria. That is putting them in danger, including the young, innocent female child. How do you feel about your 8-year-old daughter being confronted by a man in a skirt when she needs to use the facilities at the airport, for example? How do you feel about your daughter having to share a school lavatory with teenage boys pretending to be girls for the sheer hell of it? And let's not forget the male rapist in a men's prison who decided to say he was a trans woman was stupidly transferred to a women's jail and raped some fellow women prisoners. Maybe he was a trans lesbian. Women's identity is being scratched from the English language. There are no actresses anymore, no manageresses, no bus conductresses. You are women. Be proud to be women. Identify yourself as women. Don't try to be the same as men. You're better than that. You have a sacred role in this world. You are the mothers of our children. You are carrying the future of mankind inside you. Be proud of that and stop letting the woke brigade steal your identity and your pride. The woke jokes are stealing your place in the world. They are destroying the sanctity of your gender. Stand up and fight to regain your rightful position in society. And if you woke people are going to tell me that transgender women are women in a man's body, I have to question your theological ideas, because what you are saying is that a female soul was given the wrong body by the Creator, because the soul is the real person and the body is merely the vessel. So now we are into the realms of theology, and I see nothing in any scripture that covers this subject. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I've not read every word in every religious text, but from what I have read and heard, I have not seen or heard anything from the Torah, the Quran, nor the Bible which mentions this phenomenon that implies that God made a mistake when he was assembling these people. And I feel sorry for these poor deluded trans folk, really I do, but that's what they are. I don't wish to offend the afflicted, and I will not deliberately offend them, but for God's sake, stop offending me and all the normal people. If you want to be transgender, let's call it a third gender. Have your own lavatories, your own sports classification. Leave our language alone. I am sick to death of my beautiful language being hijacked by all the jiggery, pokery, jokery, wokery attempts to avoid offending some minority group or other. You offend me. I want to speak the language that I learned at my mother's knee. Note my mother, not my birth parent, without having to worry about using the wrong pronoun or misgendering somebody and constantly walking on eggshells. And this woke phenomenon extends to comedy. Les Dawson would not be allowed on television these days. I can foresee a day when Are You Being Served would be criticised for insulting the gay community by stereotyping homosexuals, and Faulty Towers would be designated as being too white, and Dad's Army would be too male and anti-German. And in drama, we have had a Black Guinevere and a costume drama in Netflix set in the 18th century England with high-ranking black people in a time when they never existed in England. It should not be offensive to anyone to have historically correct characters. If I watch television in Ghana, I wouldn't expect to see white characters. And now we have a call for more diversity in opera and ballet. Well, I have no objection to black ballet dancers, and I think black voices are wonderful in the right place, but they should only play roles which are not explicitly white characters, and where their voices suit the music. I would say the same about white Welsh male voice choirs, a beautiful sound, but they have no place in Aida. But if you insist on having more diversity in the arts, it's about bloody time that Porgy and Bess were played by white singers. Or would that offend someone? See ya.